All right, everyone. As a reminder, we are part of the You Run podcast network where you get to find all sorts of fun different podcasts from true crime to paranormal to movie reviews, kind of like ours. You can check them out on yourunnetwork.com, I believe. I wouldn't have to look that up again. I think I
I
wrote it
believe
down
it's
wrong.
You Run Network.
Yeah. And with that being said, welcome to the Paranormal Misfits podcast, where the curious roam, the weird feels at home, and horror is just another day in the office. I'm your host, Chrissy.
And I'm your host, Nino Daniel.
How's everyone doing? Not that we can hear
Literally
you.
tell us right now.
Right.
And what did your mom say to that? I knew it. What a chismosa.
I get sucked into those on fucking TikTok.
That's Spanish for gossiper. Oh, dude, I told you earlier before, I'm Hispanic by marriage. And my husband and I, we are chismosas.
Do you follow the guy that's like the DJ? He DJs at various quinceañeras.
No.
No. Oh my God. He has all the gossip that comes from
Oh my God. It's like Crazy Rich Asians, but like
Hispanic. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. How are you doing today, friend?
I am good. Got my hair did.
Your hair looks so good. She used this like fetal blood she had lying around, and it was like mixed with adrenochrome.
trying to work the magics.
Her stylist is from Epstein's Island. So whoever decided to hand me a podcast mic, God bless. No, it looks really good. Tell the folks about the purple.
So you can't see it, but I have my hairstylist. I've been seeing him for like 6 years now. And so he did like the garnet red, and I think he did a little bit of orange somewhere. I don't know. I just let him do his thing. I send him a picture and I say, this is I was like, this is what I want. And he's like, okay, we'll get to as close as we can. And I'm like, okay. So somewhere in here, like on the roots and stuff, especially up underneath, because I was playing with my hair earlier, I was like, oh my God, there's like purple. It's like holographic purple too. It was so pretty.
That's crazy.
And just so everybody knows, I'm really excited for Spookla in like October because this year's theme is for Saw.
And by Saw, we mean not Seesaw.
No, not Seesaw. Not Seesaw. Like,
no.
Do you want to play?
And you know what? Can we? I wish Jigsaw was like, I want to play a game with you. If you get 8 hours of sleep, I will let you live. Oh my God.
I would win. I would
lose because I'd get like 10 hours. I was like, fuck. Oh, also, before we get any further, I do want to let everyone know I'm officially wearing Paranormal Misfits podcast merchandise. I have the shirt with our podcast logo on it, and it is really good material. We're gonna link the merch.
Yeah, it's always linked in the show notes.
Okay. Yeah. So take a look at the show notes.
Or in our link, the link tree in the bio also has on Instagram.
All the stuff. We've got so much stuff on there. We've got shirts, we've got
bags.
We've got
mugs, we got magnets,
mugs, notebooks,
cell phone cases.
You've got like hoodies, zip up hoodies. You've got like athletic vests, coaches jerseys, like
kids wear.
You've got panties. You've got.
Stop it. We did not go that far. We're on your brassieres now, so like you're gonna have Nino on the left and Chrissy.
You've got jock straps, ammunition cases. I'm only kidding about the ammunition cases. Everything. No, I'm kidding. No, we don't have jock straps. If you check out the site, you'll see what we have.
I almost put us on a yoga mat. I thought about it because I was like,
yeah, and that's a little too much. Okay. We need to have like, why can't they put us on a Ouija board?
That would be amazing.
That would be great.
That would. Ray still wouldn't let me buy it though.
How else do you think I communicate with my grandmother?
I know, right?
Gotta send her a text message every now and again. What did you say about drawstring?
So drawstring backpacks, we have those, and we also have like the weekender totes where they're kind of like the large.
Oh yeah. I'm so gonna literally, you guys, when Chrissy and I meet in person, I'm gonna look both like a co-host and a fan with how much PNP merch.
I know, I'm gonna start buying it so that I can carry it through the airport.
I already told all my friends, I was like, listen, for Christmas, you're getting PMP merch and I'm autographing it. Maybe that's the next giveaway. Maybe we should, maybe that's the next giveaway is we like, get a shirt each for someone, have it sent to us.
Yep.
We sign it, or one of us signs it, and then send it off to I don't know. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking out loud.
Or for our first meetup, we just get a few merch like journal, shirt, and everything, and we sign it together.
Oh my god, yes! I'm fully planning on trying to come out and see you at some point.
At some point. So I will find out from my friend. We are supposed to fly up to Salem sometime next year.
Okay.
If you want to come.
Like Oregon?
No, Salem, Massachusetts, like Salem Witch Trial of Salem.
Oh, that's where I was supposed to go to Halloween last year because it was my 33rd birthday.
Ooh. Is it her 40th? This is my friend's 40th birthday.
Oh my gosh, so old. I'm just kidding.
I know. There you.
It's okay. My husband turns 40 next year.
Oh.
And I turn a whopping 34 this year.
I turned 37 and I'm not going to do math right now. Next Wednesday.
Was that 4 days?
I think so.
Cool. Oh my God. Everyone wish Chrissy a happy birthday in the comments.
That's right. Everywhere. I want to see it everywhere.
Honestly, the best thing you could all do for us as podcast co-hosts is make sure you give us 5-star reviews on all of the podcast platforms that we're on. I'm literally just spewing out hair at this point.
Is it getting caught everywhere?
Oh my God. Well, I put freaking chapstick on and then it's like, me too.
Always like the random hair finds your fucking lips. Yes.
Every time. But yeah, make sure to give us a follow on all of the podcasting platforms. Feel free to give us a 5-star review, leave some comments. We have our inbox open. We have our email open. If you guys have suggestions.
Which we do have a few. Gabriel gave us a couple of YouTube short videos, I think, to watch to put in our Q2 movie review to see what we thought about them.
Speaking of a Q2 movie review, if the movie Tarot is still in theaters by the time you're listening to this, do not fucking see them.
I'm telling you, I'm waiting for it to go streaming. I was not going to spend money.
I have watched like videos of doulas assisting with births that were more entertaining than that movie.
Do you know what's so crazy? And maybe they're just content creators for that particular brand, because I know it happens, right? For that particular, like, some people have been raving about Tarot, and I'm like, who bought you?
Who purchased you?
What did they give you?
Well, it's also the same people who were like, Imaginary is such a good movie. How?
Yep. The same ones, actually.
Actually, no, it's the same one. No, because I guarantee you, and they probably pay like good money.
Oh, I'm sure they do. One of them got like a really cool, like, what are they called? Like the media kits or whatever? Not media kits, like but like kit? Yeah. And I'm like, how'd you do that? Not that I want to hop on that train, but
not to that one. I already had my Scream 6 PR box, so that was
you go.
A cute little moment. But we're gonna move things into the point. Don't go see Tarot. Also, today's episode, we're talking about backrooms. We're talking about, what did you call them?
Casting couches.
Casting couches, but you called them something else.
Oh my God. I'm trying to think of the
showrooms. You called it a showroom because it's literally what it is. So there's a particular thing that Chrissy and I are both going to bring up because we've done our research on this. And I will say mine came up through TikTok.
Mine came up through Peacock watching. No, actually, I take that back. It wasn't Peacock. Or is it Peacock? No, it's
I think it was Peacock.
Or is it HBO Max? I think it was Max. I don't know. On one of the streaming platforms, just now, Holly Madison.
Like that.
Right, massive cock,
Cock max.
But if you've heard, how do we do this?
Why?
Ray's like, you only drank a third of your coffee. I was like, it's okay, I'll be fine. But okay. So so you'll catch, when I talk about my part, you'll catch it on one of the streaming platforms. It's a true crime show by Holly Madison, who is one of the former girlfriends of Hugh Hefner's in the early 2000s, and she is part of the Girls Next Door show. So, okay, go ahead.
She was she was one of the three.
She was the main.
She was the main girl. Yeah, she was the main girl. When you really go back on it, and I think part of the reason they broke up was because she wanted kids and he didn't. Also, because at that point, I'm pretty sure his semen is like oatmeal.
I want to say though, I thought he like had like a storage of it. He was rich enough. I don't know. Because didn't the one that took her spot after Crystal or something, have his baby?
Yeah, there was the new series of like Girls Next Door. Crystal is her name, and I want to say she was the one who
got him to marry her and everything. Like they were married.
He got money out of that. Any Hughesits. So moving into today's I was gonna make a joke. I'm so tired. 7:25 in the morning. My best friend Amber's birthday is today.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Amber. Let me
all the Geminis.
I mean, Geminis are great. It's okay. I'll rag on you during a Smart Friend episode. It's fine.
You have.
Oh yeah, huh?
You should just pick tarot. Just do it.
Just that would be like a 97-minute Smart Friend. That Patreon version would eat up like my allotted space.
I dedicate this small movie to.
I dedicate this small feature film to all the Geminis.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, so you might be asking yourselves,
are they going to get to the point?
You might be asking yourselves, do I have ADHD? And
the answer is yes.
The note from our sponsor is yes. We have no sponsor. So you might be asking yourselves, what are backrooms? And according to things I found on the internet plus my own understanding, backrooms, they are said to be a fictional extra-dimensional space attached to businesses, buildings, and homes that expand the original area into a far greater scope. There's a fictional Reddit thread dating back to 2019, which dives into backrooms having all sorts of different levels, like different creatures would be around. You may notice illegal activities happening too. All sorts of questionable things going on. Backrooms are also a slight code for casting couches or showrooms, where people can go and participate in some very raunchy sexual activity. Some people pay to be in either the giving or receiving or viewing position. Don't believe us? Watch anything that has to do with the occult.
Okay. So I know everyone's heard of casting couches because those have been around since, like, if you read anything about any starlet, not even the men, but the starlets from like the 1920s and on, right? So you got like Jean Harlow, you got Marilyn Monroe is a good example. The Nickelodeon kids, Shirley Temple.
The drink?
No, the actress that actually they tried to do that to her and she walked out laughing because she was still like 11 when they tried it.
Oh, yeah. Is she dead?
I think she might. I don't know. That's a Google question.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Our immediate questions. The moment we bring up someone like, do you remember when Thomas Jefferson? And we'd both be like, is he alive? No.
Are you sure? But so from my understanding of casting couches, especially between I guess like the 21st century, is they're more so used for big Hollywood executives to leverage their power over up-and-coming artists. All artists, including musical artists.
If you think about that artist, it's probably true.
Yeah. If you've heard some weird rumor, it's most likely.
If you've been following the Cassie Diddy cases.
Oh my God. What's his name? Lucian? Lucian? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But anyways, that's my understanding of casting couches. And to that point.
Wait. Really quick.
Okay,
Where are you going? Wait, hold on. The reason why I came up, but the reason why I brought up backrooms is because of, I think I told you this idea weeks ago because of what was going on TikTok and in the news. I started following this girl on TikTok and I can't remember her name for the life of me, but I hope she's doing so well. She was a tenant to an apartment in New York, but there was these people. It was like a multi-room complex. What the fuck am I trying to say? It was like sort of an apartment building type thing, right? So she decides to kind of figure out what the fuck's going on in her apartment. Her kitchen has like this wall masking that's hiding a bedroom door to someone else's unit.
The fuck?
So her kitchen was actually like MacGyvered into a kitchen from a bathroom. And then they built a spare bathroom. And then her unit, when she has two doors, she has the main door to open into her like little foyer. And then straight ahead is her unit. But then the door to something else is to the left. However, when you open that door to the left, there's a long hallway. Immediately to the right of that hallway is a window that looks into her unit.
What the fuck?
So what she decided to do was explore. And then she gets clearance from the landlords to go and like explore all this shit, because apparently they said it was a storage closet, which it fucking wasn't. You go downstairs and there's like 8 more bedrooms that are like housing more families. You keep going to the other side. Sorry, I yawned. You keep going to the other side of this hallway and you come up the stairs of a multi-level apartment building.
The hell?
So like these people, whoever the landlords are, they bought a building and they built like subterranean like homes underneath it, and then they built another addition to it and put 4 other people like just to maximize it.
Right.
Oh my God.
Oh.
So that's why I was like, oh, we're talking about backrooms.
Oh my.
And
you know
that's
what I think of whenever I think of backrooms? Hostel.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah. The fuck I do, yes.
Yeah.
Anywho's, oh my God. No, I just wanted to bring that up because it's like, it's a thing that I was so invested in. I'm like, this poor girl.
Right.
So, yeah, anyways, what is on your mind, Kristen?
So oddly enough, when Nino gave me what he was going to talk about, which was backrooms, casting couches, I was strolling through whatever streaming service and was like, I want to watch some true crime. And I was like, you know what?
Which is new for you. Shout out to our friends at the Dead Podcast. Shout out to our friends at Morbid.
Shout out to our friends everywhere.
Shout out to our podcast friends.
No shit. Okay, anyways.
Your rail, I'm sorry. It's not as bad today. I'm tired.
So like I had strolled across Girls Next Door and I was like, I don't really want to watch that, you know, but I do want to watch something that has like that kind of nostalgia feel. And I was like, oh, look at this. Holly Madison does true crime.
Oh my God.
I don't know how that equaled out, but it intrigued me even more because it was called the Playboy Murders.
Oh.
And
hop to it.
of the things that just coincide with Playboy and murder and either the playmate getting murdered, the playmate's family getting murdered, or them committing a murder. It's like, this is fucking wild.
Murder.
Wild. So the one that I watched was on the one that caught my eye the most, not that the whole thing didn't catch my eye, but this one, as far as like the content that we're covering today, her name was Melanie Holler. She was
I'm so sorry. You're opening up
Holler.
with Howler. Okay. I was
Haller,
like, her
sorry.
name is Melanie Holler.
Haller,
Like,
sorry.
tell me she yelled out loud before she like. Anyways, I'm sorry. That was.
So it's season 2, episode 4, and it's called Murder in the Hamptons. Okay.
Okay. All right.
So she was. We are on a roll, guys. I don't know how
You guys are really trying every episode. We tell ourselves we're really gonna try, but then you have to realize, like, Chrissy and I only see each other once a week on a fucking streaming service, and we have so much to catch up on.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm so sorry. Melanie Haller.
So she was best known for Welcome Back, Kotter, which was a TV series.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because we were born in the 70s watching.
Yeah, no, that was a really good show. I watched it telepathically. Really good show. There was that one scene where yeah. Anyways, I don't want to give too much away. Go ahead.
She had 2 small uncredited roles, one in The Love Machine and one in something called The French Connection. And then her first appearance in Playboy was in 1980. So she's this tall, gorgeous, leggy blonde, right? Like, fucking gorgeous. So, it was said, and the interviews on this are wild because, like, these people, they don't hold back. They're like, you know what? Huff's dead. They're not going to sue me. I'm just going to tell you what I experienced. So this is during the 70s and 80s. So when she gets into Playboy, it's in the 80s. So she has to go to the mansion for a couple weeks, do PR and everything, right?
Yeah.
So it was rumored that in the 80s, Hefner was absolutely atrocious. Okay. Absolute worst. Probably got worse with old age, but at this point he was really bad. So there was a quote. It says, everyone doing drugs. What did she say? Everyone was doing drugs. You're being videotaped and sexual boundaries were being pushed. So it was expected that if you're at the mansion, you had to party and party hard. Drug-fueled, alcohol-fueled sexual parties. If you wanted to be in the centerfold at this time, you would actually have to sleep with Hugh Hefner.
Oh, Jesus.
He had the whole mansion bugged. And before we started, I mean, we were recording, but before we started off the episode, I was telling Nino about this. So there is a particular person, I don't remember her name, but she used to be a playmate. And she was sitting in the big dining room, and one of the girls comes over to her who wants to be in the centerfold and was like, do you think I'll have to sleep with Hugh Hefner? I really don't want to do that. And she goes, no, just, tell him you got a boyfriend, tell him you got a husband, which really at that time, he doesn't really fucking care anyways. But anyways, that's beside the point.
Did he ever?
So, yeah.
Did he ever?
So all of a sudden, after she says that, a couple minutes goes by, and then one of the mansion staff come down to her and was like, Mr. Hefner, would you like to see you in his bedroom? And she said it felt like she was walking to the principal's office. She sits in the room. Well, he pats on the bed. He tells her to sit down, and he plays the fucking recording back to her and was like, he stops it and he goes, don't you ever tell another girl that she doesn't have to sleep with Hugh Hefner, because if any girl wants to be in the centerfold, she's going to have to sleep with Hugh Hefner. So anyways.
Tells me.
Stink. So back to Melanie. So she does her little PR stuff. Not a lot is said as to what happened to her in the mansion or anything like that. The main focus is what happens to her after the mansion.
Oh, I love that.
So so she travels back to New York. She's from New York. And there is a man in New York who is trying to basically be another Hugh Hefner. And really what someone compares him to is what is his name? Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, Jesus H.
That's exactly what one of the people was like. He is like the the original Harvey Weinstein.
Like the New York's Harvey Weinstein.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lordy.
So in the 80s, this happens. And so from April 12th to the 13th in 1980, she attended a dinner party at the Southampton, Long Island home of film producer Roy Radin. And that's the guy. She was introduced by Radin by a photographer named Ronald, by a
McDonald?
photographer named, Sisman, and visited his home hoping to revive her stalling career. So it was said that she got dressed to the nines, she brought her portfolio, and when she got there, Roy could care less about it. He shoved a drink in her hand.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, he shoved a drink in her hand, didn't want to hear anything she had to say. And then after she drank a little bit of the drink, one said it tasted funny. And then she became really woozy. She doesn't remember being carried up the stairs, so they carried her up the stairs to another room. Carried her up the stairs to another room, and basically this man was known to have video cameras in every room. He was known to push people well beyond sexual boundaries, and basically he was raping, and he would video it. And basically that's like, blackmail, because this poor girl's probably not going to want that to get out. So,
like leveraging.
Yeah. So she was drugged, raped, and beaten on camera. The party was rumored to be like, his parties were absolutely insane. He had a casting couch, and was basically compared to Harvey Weinstein. Harvey. He was also rumored to have snuff films, to film and have snuff films. And if you don't know what a snuff film is, go ahead.
I don't know what it is, and I'm genuinely serious. I don't know what. No.
So, the best way to describe a snuff film is a sexual murder. Normally, so think of like
Serbian film.
9mm. That's
No, thank you.
Yeah. So she goes, this happens to her, and she's unconscious. So he calls her mom, and she's just like, ship her back in a limo. He called her mom and was like, hey, she's incoherent, come get her. And she's like, no, just ship her in a limo. Like, she came in a limo, ship her back in the limo. Right? Because the mom's just thinking she got drunk. So he gets frustrated, hangs up on the mom. Right? Him and and even women took part in this.
Oh, that's disgusting. That's disgusting.
So they take her from the mansion, and they put her on a train, barely dressed,
and
beaten,
this is bloodied, from the Hamptons, like to
New York City, I believe, is where she was.
Manhattan, basically. Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
So when a train personnel finds her, they do the whole thing. She says, I don't remember what happened. This is where I was at. This is who was around. So this guy had connections to the police.
Oh my god.
And the police officer who was actually in charge of the case really wanted to get him. But he must have had other moles inside, because those moles were telling him that, hey, your place is getting raided. So, prior to. Like, as they were going from New York, from Manhattan to the Hamptons,
he got the call
in between, and the film that was still there, he erased most of it, aside from her laying on the bed, before all of the beating and everything happened. So he basically gets a pop on the hand. He gets he has to pay a fine for, it's like $5,000 for drugs.
Bitch.
Yeah. Yes. Now, to go back to
$5,000 for drugs.
To go back to the Hugh Hefner part.
Okay.
There's another. Remember, I was telling you he had a butler. Who waited until after he passed and wrote a tell-all book. I don't know if you've ever heard of this playmate. I believe she was also an actress. Let me check her name. Dorothy Stratton.
Nope.
No. So, She was a real popular playmate. She was from Canada.
Oh, man.
And let's see. So it's on Reddit. I'm going to read this first because the person gave bullet points, which is fantastic. I appreciate that.
I love that for you. Yeah. This is what we call research.
Right? This is what we call, like, you know how to write your paper, sir. So let's see. Sandra. Who's Sandra? I don't know who Sandra is in this. So the name of the butler was Stefan Tenenbaum. I was thinking of the Tenenbaums. Anyways.
The Tenenbaums? Yeah, Christine.
Okay. I'm moving.
We'll make like a Ford and Focus, okay?
I had one of those. Okay. Anyways, Sandra isn't a very likable character from the point of view of the staff. So Sandra, I believe, is considered one of the ringleaders to help Hef get girls and drugs.
There's always a helper.
There is, isn't there?
Look at Ghislaine.
Right? From the point of view of the staff, everything written about her pretty much lines up with her own story, including being sent away from the mansion so Hef could have sex with other women, and Sandra being the ringmaster in charge of recruiting the girls and training them to perform the bedroom acts that Hef liked. Hef also paid Sandra to get breast implants that were apparently botched somehow and caused her a lot of pain and made her sick. Hef left a bunch of drunk perverts hang around the mansion to make himself look better to the women there.
Oh, like the person who's like, I can't lose weight, so I'm going to go ahead and get fatter friends.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Jim Brown story happened a little differently than what was told in the show. At the particular party, which I have to find the show too, because apparently there's also a show named after this book, which is The Dark Secrets of Playboy.
Might be on TV.
Happened a little differently than was told in the show. At this particular party, Hef had security follow Jim because Hef was tired of paying off women who threatened to sue over rape and assaults. And then Sandra would bring this up later in the book as well. When Stephen and his wife saw what was happening, a security guard called Jim away, and Stephen and his wife then helped the woman Jim had been assaulting. Could you imagine the sheer emotional trauma the employees had working there? Like, even I understand the girls for sure who would come through.
Well, they're also employees.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So Hef was also getting a lot of heat from Playboy executives about his spending. The parties alone would cost $150K each on top of paying for surgeries, gifts, and apartments for the girls he liked, keeping expensive food and alcohol stocked for his buddies, and paying out huge settlements over bad stuff that went down at the mansion. Every time the girls at the mansion squabbled, Mary, which was the older lady, I don't know if you remember watching.
I remember the show. Yep, I know that.
Mary would be sent to Tiffany's to buy them jewelry to calm everybody down. So Hef wasn't in good health, and every time he got so sick, so much as a cold, everyone in the house assumed he was going to die and basically started looting the place. He rarely left the mansion because he was afraid of germs, and he was super paranoid about the assassination attempts, especially after Larry Flynt was shot in 1978. Which, if you don't know who Larry Flynt is, he's Hustler.
Hustler, the competitor.
Mm-hmm.
Hustler magazine.
Yes. Yep. All right.
Hustler is more pornographic, though, than Playboy.
Correct. That was the gold standard for Playboy, was they kept it in a classy sense.
They said scantily clad.
Yep. Okay, so the staff was stealing anything that wasn't nailed, including drugs, alcohol, food, bedding, clothing, despite them all knowing the entire house was under video and audio surveillance, and there's no mention anywhere in the book of anyone getting caught or getting in trouble.
Well,
and everyone wonders it's
sense.
Because of the fact that they knew all the secrets. Maybe that's why they didn't go after them. According to Stephen, Hef raped Dorothy Stratton. So Dorothy Stratton was the girl I just mentioned.
In the Hamptons.
No. This was the Canadian girl. The one in the Hamptons was Melanie. No, you're good.
I apologize.
You're okay. So he raped her basically every time she was at the mansion, and she didn't like staying there because of this. According to him, she also admitted that she married Paul partially because she thought having a husband would excuse her from being expected to sleep with Hef, which we all know is a lie. I learned through the series that Hef would make you leave your husband at the door. Or boyfriend.
And they weren't allowed in.
They were not allowed in. The one that was allowed in got booted out immediately. So Hef purposely set Dorothy up with this one director to launch her film career because he wanted to elevate his own reputation. At this time, apparently Playboy would get you blacklisted from any legitimate modeling or acting jobs. Hef had PIs follow Dorothy and her husband Paul, and later in the book, Hef provides Paul with proof of Dorothy having an affair with the director. It is implied that this is part of the reason why Paul decided to murder her. We don't know exactly what Hef's motive was.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, her episode was so sad. All of the weird quirks you expect from... The person goes, all of the weird quirks you expect from the rich jerks have had a special stash of Pepsi different from the one that was served to guests. If he asked for Pepsi and it took too long to be served, he'd refuse it because it had to be exactly the temperature he liked. Hef and a few select friends were the only ones who could be served their food on fine china and real silver utensils. Stephen is threatened with termination twice because John Dante couldn't be served a salad with cucumbers that had holes in them.
So much.
Okay. Mary is in the book quite a bit, but not with a ton of new information. She basically ran the house. And Stephen calls her.
That was evident from the show.
Oh, yeah. Because that's who Holly used to go up and basically gossip with. Holly was like the old lady in like a 20-year-old body.
That tracks.
Stephen calls her Hef's true wife in all ways but sex. Also says that Hef pays Harry Reams, who is a porn star of Deep Throat fame, to service her 4 times a year. Other than that, it's mostly just her being mean to everyone except for Hef and chain smoking, which I don't know, maybe. Every day, the women staying at the mansion would have to check in with Mary to see who was scheduled to have sex with him and what they would be doing and wearing during the sessions. Stephen got fired after a disgruntled security guard sets him up to go into the game house where a threesome was happening in which Hef is penetrating Sandra while Harry Reams is penetrating Hef. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's just your face. You're like,
did I catch that?
You did.
Wait, was Hef gay?
He might have been bi.
Or a little bisexual. I was gonna say you can't like
demand 11 girlfriends and
not like a guy every now and again.
I mean,
Holly weird. Not Holly's weird, but like Hollywood, Holly weird. Sorry. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I know.
Poor choice of analogies.
All right. So for anyone wondering how Mary came to work for Hef, Mary owned a restaurant in the same building as the Playboy offices in Chicago. So in Chicago, they used to have their restaurants there. And the girls, that's where the iconic corset bunny.
Mm-hmm. Because it wasn't like a cocktail lounge or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And they had to do the special little dip.
So they never served forward. They would turn to the side and serve back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The whole table.
And the fact that we know that. Like
things early 2000s.
People have actually had to practice that. Like you couldn't be a cocktail server in the Playboy lounge if you couldn't do that. Nonetheless, in 6-inch stiletto pumps.
And I don't know if anyone watches that one TV show, what is it, Pan Am or whatever it was with the airlines where it was all. So at the Chicago place, the Chicago business, they would weigh in every shift. The same way that they weighed the air stewardess in Pan Am.
Yeah, because they couldn't be, they could only fall within like, they couldn't be under too.
Right.
Because then they would look sickly.
Yep.
That's crazy, bananas.
Yes. So Hef spent so much time in his office, Mary started sending meals to him. Eventually, Playboy bought the entire building, and Hef liked Mary so much he gave her a job with Playboy. So she went out to LA with him, where he bought the Playboy Mansion West. Let's see. Stephen explicitly states that Sandra was the drug runner for the mansion, and that if she were to get caught, she would take all of the heat so that Hef didn't get in trouble. And if anyone has read this book, can you
tell us where to find it?
Yeah, can you, not only that, but can you give us your thoughts on it?
Can you send it to us?
Right.
Somehow? Oh my God.
Yeah, so I mean, when you were talking about casting couches and back rooms, I was like, right here. It's right here.
It's all right there. You know
All of
what?
it.
You know what's really funny that wasn't mentioned in that? Not to say that it needed to be,
Right.
but like the grotto.
So, okay. So what was funny was when you watch the Playboy Murders TV series, Holly does bring it up. She said by the time that when she was there in the early 2000s, it was not the same popularity-wise that it was back in the 70s and 80s.
What do you mean by it? What is the it you're referring
The
to?
it is that like that was a big spot for a lot of orgies.
I mean, it doesn't take a genius to.
Right. So like that was the idea of the grotto, right? And then when it got to the 2000s, they weren't like, they weren't too big on it. I
Didn't
guess
it
they
also
only
get like shut down before the house like foreclosed or some shit like that?
I believe in 2011 there was some sort of bacterial outbreak in it, and I think
Because it wasn't being maintained.
I'm pretty sure. So,
And it was like it was a big space. It wasn't
so
small.
oddly enough, if you watch the Playboy Murders first, right, and then decide, and I tried this, I was like, okay, well, let me go back and watch Girls Next Door. And I never like for some I think because I was always cleaning and stuff whenever it was on my TV, whenever I was like in the early 2000s and I lived on my own. Like I remember watching it and I remember going, "Oh, they're so adorable and Kendra's so funny and all that shit," right? But then I didn't realize how controlling it was because they went to go fly out to Vegas, right? He wouldn't give them the private jet. He made them pay. They had to be back within 24 hours. And like no men. And I was watching it and I was like, "Oh my god, how did I miss
Right
all
in
of
front of our
this shit?"
faces. Right in front of our faces. Well, didn't Holly or Kendra or someone have like a book called like Down the Rabbit Hole or something
It was
like that?
Holly, and I want to read that too.
Yeah, because like she really gets explicit, I heard,
Mhm.
of things she can share. Because like I'm not saying this in any type of way, but if they were there, I'm
I
sure
mean, it
they
couldn't have changed too much, right?
too much. No.
So the other part is that her and Bridget have a podcast together, and they
Mm-hmm.
brought the son on,
Whose son?
Hugh Hefner's.
Hef's son?
Mhm. So
And
I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to because now I'm like invested.
oh no. When you send it, like text it to me so I can also just oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I am because I sat there. Now I have a list because I told you there's also another playmate. Now she wasn't a playmate for very long. I think maybe a month tops at the Playboy Mansion. So she was the one. She wasn't conventionally beautiful, so Hef wasn't like interested in her. She did the whole thing where it's like oh, let's do your testing shoot and all that shit. Well, it didn't work out. She got her heart broken. So then she decides, well, I'm going to go in a different way and I'm going to be a poker player. So she makes it big in the poker world. And she finally makes it to the mansion. And everything she built up in her head did not match what happened in the mansion. Because at that time, when she went to the mansion, that was with Holly, it was with Bridget, it was with Kendra. And the controlling factor that Hef had, the fact that you had to sleep with him, the fact that he would basically force himself on top of you, like through her, and she was married at this time. So like it threw her completely, the whole threw her for a loop. She was taking pictures, she was being very invasive. Whenever you listen to the interview with Bridget and Holly on the episode. But she was taking pictures of everything, asking all sorts of questions that none of them felt comfortable answering.
Oh my god.
So yeah. And I think she was murdered by an ex-husband in Arizona, in Mesa, I think. Mesa, sorry.
It's like I have like people who there's a city in Arizona called Tempe, Tempe,
Mm-hmm.
and people pronounce it Tempe.
Oh, kind of like Like there's a vegan. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called tempeh. There's a vegan meat that you can use. I believe that's what it's called.
So when
Yeah.
people say tempeh, I'm like, I'm gonna punch you in the throat.
Sorry, I'll learn. But yeah. So anyways, that's all of my stuff that deals with like the backroom casting couches. Yeah.
Jesus. Like that, that makes me want to go back and like rewatch the show because I do remember the episode where he's like, you have 24 hours. Also, the one thing I wanted to mention that I remember distinctively from Girls Next Door is that the models who were on roster, they lived in the house next door that had like a pathway attached. I remember this, and they had to pay to live there.
Yep. And he was so demeaning to the girls that like they were like, you'd have to stand in line and get your allowance from him. And I'm like, oh. And at that point, that's where he gets to air his grievance about the relationship and what he expects from you in the coming week. I'm like, oh my God, I could
like,
never.
I wanna ask those girls, like, was it worth it? Was it all ultimately worth it?
I don't know. Kendra hasn't done well.
No. Well, she's a real estate agent now, and she had Kendra Sells Hollywood or something like that.
Well, she also had Kendra, and then she had her wedding, and then they went on to marriage boot camp. Hey guys, Chrissy here. So as you know, halfway through our episode, we like to talk about other podcasts that are part of the You Run network. And this month, we'll be talking about the Aardvark and the Magic Moshi, an Australian Red Dwarf podcast where they review every single episode of Red Dwarf in order, along with their own SME segments and occasional special guests. So make sure you check them out. Again, you can find them on Instagram at TAANDTMMDRD. You can find their podcast streaming on most platforms. And again, you can also find them on the yourunnetwork.com. All right. Make sure you check them out, guys. Okay, so going back, like just within the first, so I watched, I don't know, like 3 episodes of The Girls Next Door.
Okay.
And like I started watching it from like a different like
a different perspective.
View. Right. And I'm going, how the fuck did I miss this shit? But
insane.
Yeah, no.
It's insane. Like, I don't, because the stuff about Hef didn't start coming out. Like, once they knew he was dying, that's when stuff started coming out. I remember this distinctively. Anyway, I feel like the whole Playboy era, we can get into that for real. I want to get into
let's go back to yours, because I basically touched on like backroom casting couch.
Yeah, so this is, oh shit, the light lighted.
Oh yeah, it did.
Okay, there's 2 things I want to add.
Okay.
The first one is kind of like a big thing. This is something that I heard of on TikTok, and I immediately jumped in and I was like, okay, what the fuck? There's this video, and again, I don't know the name of the creator, and I shouldn't, I'm so sorry. She had pointed out some things that are going on with the Abbey. And if you know anything about West Hollywood, the Abbey is a prominent gay bar in the LGBT community. It is one of the most like when people mention like best gay clubs around the world, the Abbey is probably on that list, like within the top 20 for sure. Okay. And this one woman was talking about her experience at the Abbey and the things that have been going on. So the Abbey is basically considered like a notable mecca for many members of the LGBTQIA plus community. Now, I will say I myself made the journey back in November of 2016. And I ain't gonna say much, but I will say this is prior to meeting my husband. And that night was a fucking riot. In recent months, the Abbey has been under fire while also under new management. So it's being reported through social outlets that the newest manager of the Abbey, Tristan Shoecraft, is the devil reincarnate.
Oh my.
Some videos have even emerged where they allege him to be the new Epstein.
So I did see that.
Yeah. And mind you, I'm not quite sure, but I'm I didn't get any, I think Tristan is gay,
Okay.
but I'm not
Oh,
quite
that's
sure.
terrible.
I'm
Like,
not
if
quite
he's
sure. I'm not quite sure. Alleged, I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
You either are or you aren't. All right, you either
Right.
like dick or you don't, and it can't. So it is alleged that Tristan has his eyes set for single, female, and lonely women, or at least the ones that stray away from their group.
Oh my God.
So he has been allegedly
Mhm.
grooming the staff at the Abbey to spike drinks of women who fit the criteria of what he is preying after. Bartenders of the Abbey are allegedly told which cups to give to which women with like a spiking agent that is
Mhm.
undetectable and coated in the cup. It looked like like they showed, I watched like a video where it's like they have a spiking agent and a
Right.
clean cup, and you can't tell which one's which.
Oh no.
The
Oh
spiking
no.
agent dries vehemently clear.
Wow.
You can, I think it's like where like the body of the glass meets the bottom, you can kind of tell there
A
might be
little bit
some
of
like residue
mhm.
or something like that. So bartenders. So now numerous women, and it seems to be only women thus far,
Mhm.
have come forward mentioning that they remember going into the Abbey, but then don't remember much else. It has been reported and alleged that the staff not only prey on these women, but also pickpocket them as well.
Oh my God.
I mean, I knew California was like expensive, but like,
Like, seriously, guys.
y'all gotta rob women. Okay. And you want to rob women, and then we want to talk about the pay gap. Anyway,
Mhm. Mhm.
anyways. So aside from the aforementioned, women are also
Mhm.
allegedly being sexually trafficked in the backrooms. Now, I have like gone to the Abbey,
Mhm.
and it is not a small place.
Okay.
It is large. Like
Oh.
I remember it definitively being big. Like there's like one specific area where there's like a stage with a screen for all the drag shows and everything, and then the patio is like gigantic. Um the restaurant side is pretty big, and then the bathrooms are like in these like weird little pockets and stuff. So it's very easy to get lost in there if you're like drugged or anything like that. Not to
Mhm.
say that I was, but I could see from what I could remember that night. um it's very easy to get lost in there.
Right.
And obviously, so much of it's roped off, like employees only. Da, 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 da.
Mhm.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Um, so these women are reportedly being taken into the back rooms, bidded on, R worded, and reportedly other unspeakable things,
Oh my God.
and then discarded or even allegedly trafficked further,
Oh,
meaning like they're gone, like taken.
right. Yeah.
And what's going on is the people that are doing the biddings
Mhm.
are heterosexual white men, allegedly, or
Oh, Jesus.
men, period,
Mhm.
who are actually putting these women through torture. And the sole reason that they're doing it at like, and I think not, well, this is just a hypothesis, but the Abbey looks like a demonic church.
Really?
Like not, but like if you really, I think the place next to it is called the chapel. So like the Abbey is one part, the chapel is the other.
Mhm.
And it just looks very gothic in nature. And I was like, that makes sense. You know, if you're gonna do like, are you looking it up?
I am.
Abbey.
Okay.
So the owner, Tristan, is
Mhm.
said to be gay, but the clients he provides for are mostly straight, according to the reports.
Okay.
We do have to say the word alleged 9 bajillion times for legal purposes.
Facts.
So again, everything in this episode, alleged,
Is what
unless
we have been told through the media.
unless we know it to be true, like the Playboy Mansion did exist. There
I
was
was
a show called Girls Next Door.
Yep.
Holly, Madison, and Bridget were Hef's girlfriend. Like, we know these things.
Mm-hmm.
The Abbey exists in WeHo, California. Like, we know these things. You can look it up.
Yep.
So you can also do your own digging too. For Tristan, so yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to put in my notes is like encouraging people do your own digging on this because it's fucking insane. Like, there's more to. So for Tristan to be compared to the modern day Epstein tells me there are way more sinister things going on.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, women are getting drunk off of 2 drinks,
Oh
sometimes
my.
1. And we're talking like, I mean, I've been there and I don't remember too much of the night, but like, I don't think their pour was that heavy.
Right.
I was
Like
also
we would.
doing other things that night. Like, so my question to that is how? 2 drinks?
I agree.
2 drinks? 2
Yep.
drinks, you might kind of start, you're kind of loosening up at best.
So my other question to this is, how are you getting these bartenders to agree? Like,
Oh,
is
it's
there like a?
incredible what you can do when you put money in people's pockets.
But I mean, like, how much is he paying them?
It doesn't matter.
No.
And I think the thing is, and correct, this is on another thing that I was also thinking of. Maybe he hires specific people.
That's what I was. Yeah.
You would
Like,
probably have
there's
to
like
hire
criteria.
degenerate
Right.
people who don't give a fuck about. You would have to hire lifeless people.
So is there any background on him prior to the Abbey? Like,
I looked some stuff up, couldn't find much.
no.
But
Hmm.
there's something that I did read that states
Mm-hmm.
that like he's doing these things to make back money.
For
Like
the
he's
Abbey,
for
or
the Abbey and like the loan and everything like that. So like there's a circumferential reason, and
okay.
that's why the alleged bidding is going on. But here's the
It sounds
kicker.
so much like Hostel.
It's hostile and taken put together. So here's the kicker.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to what, just finishing out these notes. So some patrons get so drunk they are kicked out, and like once they get on the streets, things are then allegedly also fair game.
Oh my God. Oh, well, yeah, I can, yeah.
So clients of the Abbey seem to know where their supply is coming from and how to get away with adult napping in plain sight, allegedly.
Oh my God.
There have been allegations of human trafficking at
Right.
the Abbey dating back to 2010. 14 years.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. And the new management came underway, I think, in 2019.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
I think the new management came in underway in 2019. So every time, like, that's why it makes a lot of sense. Like, people go there because it's obviously a good time. I mean, their brunch is delicious.
A little bit on the iconic side, one of those
It's a
things
little bit
like,
on the iconic side. Like, everyone's come through there. Like, Britney Spears has performed there. I'm pretty sure Madonna has, or at least if not them, the impersonators. Like, all of the RuPaul's Drag Race girls go there. It's like a hot spot. It's really honestly like gay mecca.
mm-hmm.
But my question is, why women? Why, first of all, why anyone? Period.
Right.
Why women? And there's like the reason that I kind of get the inkling that there's more sinister things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Something about like bidding on people that just makes me.
Ugh.
It gives me the uncomfies.
Like it's,
And this is what I mean by backrooms is like, obviously to the public eye, like we might be like, oh yeah, this is just like an employee hallway. This is just an employee, like whatever. The women who like have kind of been semi-conscious,
right.
or at least from what I've researched, are like, it's below. Like you go back and then you go down.
Oh, so it has like a basement.
It has levels.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I'm surprised none of the staff have come forward. I mean, even if they try to like be in good moral code, I'm pretty sure they have people lined up in case anyone says anything.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the same thing that you were talking about earlier is they were either killed, assisted in a murder, or their families were killed. And it's kind of like the same thing from what I'm understanding. I'm just so confused as to why a allegedly gay man is grooming his staff. Like, and someone said like they saw the difference in the cups. The cups are not too different to us. One,
Right.
like the normal ones are apparently like just longer, and then the ones that they hand out to like the women that they're trying to like drug and everything like that, they are just a little bit shorter and fatter.
Oh.
Like the difference is like a quarter of an
Like
inch,
slight.
like slight. It's like an eighth of an inch difference. And I don't know if we're not talking about like cups metaphorically to dick sizes. It's like genuinely we're talking about cups.
Yeah, cups.
Like glasses.
Red solo cup and a purple solo cup. They
Right,
look the
literally.
same.
It's all the same. It's honestly potato tomato. Um so but the fact that like what boggles my mind is this. I went to the Abbey in 2016. These allegations have been going on since 2010.
That's insane. And you know it's
And
bad
you're telling me
that you're doing this because
LAPD didn't.
well, you know everybody lines someone's pockets. I mean, come on now. What is absolutely insane is they're using a space that women deem safe
For themselves.
for themselves, and you're going and you're breaking that
You're
trust.
making it unsafe.
Mhm.
I would even think that it would be unsafe for some men too.
Yeah. Has there been any allegations of men getting kidnapped?
So the reports that I read were it said mostly women.
Mostly women. Okay.
And I'm
And the
not even gonna like
bartenders?
venture past the word mostly. I don't even want to think of what else this man could fucking bring
Oh
in.
yeah, no. The bartenders though, mostly men, mostly women,
Oh,
mixed.
the bartenders it's a good mix. It's a
Okay.
good mix. Like last time I was there, it's a pretty good mix. And it's pretty like cultural too. Like you've got different types of like shape, sizes, colors. Except for the men though. The men, like they gotta be on the fit side.
Got it.
Because you're obviously there to
I just
also the bathrooms are unisex.
oh my God.
It's like a wide so you walk into like picture a classroom. Just picture a classroom. In the center of this classroom. So the entire room is bare.
Right.
I'm painting a picture. The entire room is bare. The lights are obviously above overhead. On one side of one wall is the sinks and some in the center.
Okay.
And then everything else that lines the wall is stalls.
Oh.
Last time I remembered, I don't think there were urinals. But yeah, everyone goes in everywhere.
Oh.
It's not just, So um this makes me like second guess other places
That you've
as
been to?
well. Well, and also like my thing is this too, like this is all happening at a gay bar.
Right.
And gay men are consistently under fire. Like we're not all the same. We
Mhm.
don't all think the same. We don't
Right.
all have the same fucking like values in terms of like sometimes it's like this is why they want to take our fucking rights away.
Mhm.
This makes sense. Like shit like this makes sense. So anyways, the other thing, I want to close out the Abbey thing and then go into one final thing.
Okay.
To anyone who has probably listened to this, I hope you have, but like has felt like victim to it or feel like they're the ones. We're not talking about. I want to specify. We're not talking about any person. This is just reports that we read online. I don't want to say like I'm sharing someone else's story or anything like that. I don't want to feel like I'm taking a voice away from someone.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to get to. But the fact that this is happening
Mhm.
and the fact that the bar is still open.
Mhm.
I literally checked the other night, unless it closed in the past like week, but it's still there.
Oh yeah.
And it's so like I'll tell you this story offline
Okay.
when we wrap up, but like it's how easy it is to walk past police
Right.
looking inebriated or drugged because it's quote unquote typical.
Mm-mm.
Is this person getting trafficked or are they just rolling?
Right.
So that's I'll tell you more offline. The one final ad on Backrooms is in the music
Mhm.
industry.
Ho ho. Our
So
lovely place.
every all roads back to Diddy. Like, which by the
Diddy,
way, he got
Lucy,
arrested.
Lucian. Did he?
He got arrested on
Hold
the
on.
because of the video.
Is there?
The Cassie video.
Did he finally get arrested?
I believe so. I saw a photo of him in cuffs, unless it's like a lizard wearing his skin. So, anyways, moving into this.
Go ahead.
And jump in anytime you find information, because I love the fact that you're researching. So, one final add on Backrooms is, of course, the music industry. It is said that once an artist this is where it gets fucking satanic, demonic, all of this shit. It is said that once an artist completes their album, they automatically have to hand it to the executives of the record label for clearance. This is not new. This is standard practice. There is a team of executives who listen to the album
Right.
and want to ensure that it sounds good, that it sounds like an album they can put into their big money machine and fucking push this shit out to the masses.
Okay.
And and make like beaucoup money. Okay. Well, it is rumored that the top industry executives have a special back room in their office where they go, pray to a demonic deity, embed spells onto the music, and this is done with certain levels of frequencies being adjusted on the tracks adding in low vibration drums at a particular rate, and even backmasking lyrics to sell the album.
You said that about Britney Spears, right? Didn't she have like a
Yeah. So if you listen to Baby One More Time by Britney Spears backwards, you can kind of make out the fact that she says, "Sleep with me, I'm not too young."
Oh my God.
Lady Gaga's Paparazzi, she kind of says like we model ourselves in the arts of Lucifer. So if like backmasking is a real fucking thing, and what they're trying to do is like there's certain like gigahertz that are already on the track when it's recorded. And what they do in these back rooms is they lower the vibration. So
Okay.
even the stuff that's being fed to us musically, we think is like great. Neuronally, it's actually dumbing us down over time.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, this makes me beg the question, why was Diddy so eager to have everyone get on an ironclad NDA centered around never speaking a word in public against Bad Boy Records? Apart from other things, I'm like, huh. Because like what they've done is like they'll like I've seen it kind of happen in my own way, is like you'll get a track, you'll get what's your like rough copy.
Right.
You have to hand it into the executives if you're on their label, because they now own the track, and then they do whatever they want to it. They'll put in like at a very low rate, they'll put in like spells, or they'll put in like at the lowest possible frequency, they'll put in like a chant or like a
Okay.
something.
Right.
And this is all done in these back rooms where these tracks get officially mastered. And I think there's something behind the terminology of having like a master, and it's like who they're
Right.
submitting it to.
Right.
Like the
Yeah.
deity, the satanic deity or demonic deity they're submitting it to. And this is what's so funny about the music industry. And I found this out through a tweet from Iggy Azalea. I think it's deleted, but I think it's screenshotted, and it's nothing against Iggy Azalea. I love her. She said that there's obviously like how many major record labels? You've got like Sony, Universal, EMI, Epic Records. Like you've got, I mean, probably 15 major record labels all in competition with each other. All of those labels are owned by two men.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Who is
And
it?
I don't know. It's
Kind of like
And
that. What is it?
these
What are they called? Like BlackRock Company or whatever? They say
BlackRock
that.
and Vanguard, who own like
Mm-hmm.
90% of the
Everything.
fucking world. Yeah.
Yeah.
So literally, I wouldn't be surprised if these men are also
The
within the BlackRock Vanguard fam. I would not be surprised. Going back to backrooms though,
right.
um, if they'll obviously like record label executives within each label are like, okay, let's try to push this artist.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the one of these two men will take note of who an artist is and invite them to a party.
The white parties. Sorry.
Just whatever.
Or
Like,
a showcase.
or a showcase. And it's crazy to me that if you don't do what they say,
Mm-hmm.
they can literally put a timeline on your career.
Oh yeah.
They can literally be like, okay, you don't want to have sex with us and all of this shit. Okay, we're going to give you 2.5 years and you're done.
Yeah.
And what's funny is like, it literally, you can kind of see what happens with certain artists.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're like, oh, they had a really good song. They had a really good album. Now they're not doing so well.
Right.
And this all just kind of goes back to like backrooms are a place where people get to flex their power. And you don't know power until you are put in a position with someone who it's not even about making or breaking you. Someone who can, if you don't do what they say, someone can have your family killed.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they'll make your life literally
And
be living hell.
you realize like, oh my gosh, look at all these like billionaires like Taylor Swift. Congrats, is now a billionaire, XYZ. Do you
Mm-hmm.
want to know how much money trillionaires pay to keep their names off those lists?
How much?
Oh, buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets of money. The top 1%, like the top 1% of the 1% is richer than the entire world combined, multiplied by, what do they say, like 100,000?
Oh wow.
Like these people have like money.
Right.
And these back rooms and these things that we're talking about, it's literally a perverse and sexual world out there.
Yeah.
And sex and money have been running not just the US, I'm talking the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
Sex, money, and backrooms have been running the world. What's that one fucking movie that where they're all in like the black cloaks and they all have their masks and like there's one guy in a red coat? What the hell is that movie? Wide Awake or something like that?
The one with, hold on.
It's like back in the 90s or 80s or something like that. Because that movie is literally like, it harps on what the fuck's going on.
Right.
It's fucking insane. Like, you can also tell when another person has like, selling your soul has nothing to do with like inking a deal with the literal devil.
Mm-hmm.
Selling your soul means like you're going to be complacent and complicit to what whoever you think the executive of your record label is, start walking up 6 rungs higher. That's the person who's fucking controlling you.
Yeah.
That's the one who's telling you what to wear, what to think, what to do. This is another like example of power. I was listening to I think I told you this in the last episode. The Met Gala had obviously happened, and rumor has it that the South African singer Tyla, who has the song Water,
right,
she was very much like schmoozing and attaching herself onto the arm of a Chinese like billionaire tycoon real estate dude.
Yes.
And also, Tyla was so desperate to go to the Met Gala, her label paid her ticket. And mind you, a ticket to the Met Gala is like
75,000 at the base.
At the base. And mind you, if you want better ones like the Kardashian tickets, those are like 500,000 to $1 million. But apparently there was like a setup where she has to do something now, like sexually or so. I don't know.
Oh God.
So the reason why I wanted to focus on backrooms is just because those are places where
shit goes down.
The dirtiest, the nastiest fucking shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if there's one thing I could do to backrooms, it's
for once it's not in my house.
once they're done at Chrissy's house.
First off, it should only be one, not there.
I'm gonna send all the Llaronas to the backrooms of the world.
Right?
Swiftly. So that's that on that. That's what I've got. Like, you can also tell I was rewatching some more of this stuff, and it's crazy to me how, like, even in the studios where artists record, there are backrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Executives can come in the middle of a recording session. Iggy Azalea even said this, like, not that she did anything, but she had mentioned, like, the record label the executives can send people, or the executives themselves can come in while you're recording, force you to do things to them. And if they don't like the song, and even though you like it, you have to scrap it.
Oh my God. It's
just insane to me what these people of power do. And, like, what's funny is, like, the people who we think are in power
aren't.
Like, there are levels to this shit. Anywho, that is my take on backrooms. Chrissy, what do you have for us in addition?
I don't have much. I mean, I've heard of casting couches. I've read multiple, like, biographies and stuff on, like, the starlets of, like, the 50s and the 40s and all of that. So, like,
and isn't, like, Maxine gonna be loosely based on, like, a girl from a casting couch who makes it?
Porn,
right?
I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And most of the time that's where that comes from. I mean, Marilyn Monroe, they talked about that all the time.
To her.
Jean Harlow was another one. I mean, the dirty shit that happens in Hollywood and around Hollywood has been known. It's just I think it's getting more traction now, right?
I honestly think that, like, I think we mentioned this especially last time during, like, the Met Gala stuff. I'm really excited that we are now getting into, like, celebrity cancel culture. Fuck these people.
Right. No, I agree. I mean,
fuck these people who make. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was about to say, granted, they give us content to talk about.
Sure, but like, that's it. That your whole life, and your whole, like, padding of your wallet is based on the opinion of other people. So I've paid me talking about you in a good or bad or in different way is still putting money in your pocket regardless.
Well, I mean, think about the Kardashian clan, right? Like, they are truly, one, a clan, but two, yeah, oh God, their following is insane. But when you think about when Diddy started going down, they found footage. They found evidence of Kim Kardashian doing the same shit men do to women.
To Black men.
Right.
And I think, I don't know, everyone's always talking about, oh, this person's next. I think if we're going to take down anyone, I think we should do a 2-for-1 special. I think we should go after Jay-Z.
Right.
And Kim Kardashian.
Agreed.
And the other thing is, like, I'm not trying to say that I trust everything Jaguar Wright says. I mean, I have my own fucking mind. But
and Orlando Brown.
Oh, Orlando Brown. That's the other thing too, is Orlando Brown is evidently playing crazy. He's not actually crazy.
Right. Yeah, that's what Jaguar said.
He's doing this to get, like, written off, as, like, a crazy dude, whatever. Jaguar Wright mentioned some names that I didn't want to hear. But it makes sense. Everyone does it. Everyone does it.
I like binge the crap whenever they start.
I can't. I physically cannot say this name because I'm a part of this fan base.
Oh.
I'll give you a hint. Pink.
Okay, that's I figured.
And I'm like, it makes sense. Like, it makes sense, like, how sex is tied into this and how the eating of little children and all of this stuff, because they film everything. So should you ever decide to step into the, like, tell-all space, and then they make you do stuff. They make you do stuff in these backrooms. They're like, okay, you need to, like, have you seen the show Hollywood on Netflix?
I don't think so, not yet.
Oh my God. This came
Yeah.
out like 21, like mid 21 it came out.
Okay.
And it talks about the golden era of Hollywood.
Oh.
And Jim Parsons is in it. He plays like a major role, and there's this one scene where like this really handsome built actor from the Midwest moves to Hollywood to make it big. XYZ goes to a party with Jim Parsons' character, and Jim Parsons' character says, "I'll give you the lead in this movie if you suck my dick right now."
So, even though it's kind of outside of the realm of Hollywood, but it did happen in Hollywood. Like the amount of like shit people do to each other to blackmail each other in all industries, all fucking industries, is absolutely atrocious. Like I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right
Oh
now?
yeah. Right before, like right as we kind of took our little pause,
Mm-hmm.
I pulled up Instagram, and there are artists and record labels who are paying people, like, so Nicki Minaj has her tour dates listed,
Right.
and there are people who are, she's in Europe now, so it's a little bit harder to navigate, but there are record labels and artists who are paying the consulate of these countries to ensure Nicki doesn't get to her shows.
Oh my God.
And this isn't the first time this has been done to her.
Right.
And it's insane. Like, when people say like how much tea they have, you have to realize like the people who are also reporting on this, there's a small group of people that they all share within each other. Like Nicki Minaj has the same hairstylist that Cardi B does. Normani has the same choreographer that Lil Nas X does.
Huh.
Like, so do you see what I'm saying? Is like,
Mm-hmm.
and if you pay enough money, I mean, I'm not saying this is true, this is all alleged, but if you pay enough money,
There's just
people can sing like a canary. So isn't there also a movie coming out this year that kind of talks about that, like the backrooms and the child stuff, like Nosferatu, or not Nosferatu, what's that one, Nefarious?
Mm.
Isn't there a movie coming out this year that's kind of like about that? I think, I don't know, I could be wrong. But it just talks about like the illicit activities.
I can tell you that Late Night with the Devil.
That's a whole thing though. That is like, he literally had his wife cancer stricken
Mm-hmm.
and killed so he can make it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like, I think what it is like people just have to, like, there are people in power who get so hungry off of seeing how far someone can go. Like, there's huge rumors in Hollywood that like the majority of your favorite actors are gay.
That
There's
was a big thing in the
the
50s.
the biggest rumor right now is with a very famous, good-looking and muscular comedian, Caucasian, is that he's actually secretly gay.
I'm running through my list.
Known for his cheekbones and jawline.
Oh, geez, that asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
No, yeah, so there's rumors that he's actually gay. Like, gay as fuck gay.
Who was it that was rumored to be like that? That, like, Taylor Swift dated, I want to say. Not Styles.
Oh, I mean, we all know. But there's a rumor going around that Taylor Swift's secretly a lesbian.
There's that. And
Like,
with
and
Carly
with Carly
Kloss or
Kloss. And
something.
I'm not even kidding you. I think that tracks.
I was
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Taylor Swift is a lesbian. More power to her.
Just come out and say it, though.
Just come out and say it. Just be like, because keep in mind, like, you hang around really pretty model-esque women.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
nuts.
Speaking of, are they tracked to be getting married soon? Her and the dude?
Whatever their publicists are putting together, I'm sure is going to be a wonderful marriage. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it one bit. I do not think it is real. I think some part of them, like, I think you have to somewhat like someone.
Mm-hmm.
But
you remember that whole stunt when she dated, what's his name, Tom Hiddleston, and he was wearing like the I Love TS shirt and shit? Oh, I need to go back and look that one up. See what PR shit what that was.
Oh no, like, and then also I'm starting to not like Taylor Swift so much because,
Mhm.
as you know, Billie Eilish released an album this week
Yes, I saw all
or
that
last week.
drama,
She
and
released an album last
she
week.
keeps re-releasing the dead poets in different ways, right?
So what's happening is, for people who don't know this, in order to determine where your album falls on the Billboard 200 chart. So the Billboard Hot
Mhm.
100 is for album singles.
Okay.
The Billboard Hot 200 is for album, like full length albums or
Okay.
any project that is, I think, above four tracks or more.
Mhm.
And so it has to stay charting for 2 weeks. And
Right.
what they do is wherever, like, let's say you release on the 1st, and wherever you fall on the 15th is where you chart.
Okay.
So
So
you could be number one on the 1st of the month, but if you're
mhm.
37th, then you charted 37th. So
Um,
what's going on right now is, and I don't think it'll interfere, but Taylor Swift is releasing 3 different versions of the
I don't
Tortured Poets Department.
I don't understand that shit. Like,
I'm
I
like,
understood when she did it to get her royalties back, right? Because
oh, it's
JoJo
so
did it.
vague.
But you don't have to do it for every fucking album.
JoJo did it first, and she did it better, personally.
Mhm.
And also, JoJo, like, oh my God, we froze. We know you have to leave. Well, we know you don't want to leave, but you have to. So if you are gonna go, you might as well creep out.